Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. A couple of quick clarifications. Number one, I'm trading futures. If you don't know what futures are, I'll put a link down below in the description area to a totally free 4-part series that'll walk you through the futures market, how it works. And as a quick little thing that maybe get you interested, especially as a stock and options trader that is annoyed by the pattern day trading rule, there is zero pattern day trading rule within the world of futures. And then second, I'm trading futures through a prop firm. What is a prop firm? How does a prop firm work? Which prop firm am I using? You can see the link up at the top of the screen there. If you go there, you'll learn all about that. I'll also put the link down below the video, and you can learn all those questions. But in a nutshell, a prop firm is a way for you to put very little of your money at risk, but you have a whole lot of upside potential. But like I said, if you want to learn more, then definitely go to that link. So I will go ahead and pause the screen recording software for now, and I'll be back as soon as I find a potential trade. All right, gonna go for purchase there. See if we can get some more pushing up. All right, I'm just going to take the 165 there. I think a little bit of a chase on my part. Maybe not. We'll let hindsight be our judge if this thing decides to keep on coming upwards. But given that this move technically started there and was all the way up there before I finally bought, yeah, I'm not going to push back on the accusation that I maybe chased it a little bit. But like I said, we'll let hindsight be our judge. And as right now, probably should have held on a little bit a while longer, but nonetheless, I will take it. Hard to complain about making $165 in, I don't know, what was that, maybe 7 seconds? All right, I'll pause and let's see if I can find another trade. All right, looking to buy this pullback here. See if it wants to come down a bit more. Just going to start off with one. Maybe I'm trying to split hairs here. I think I can get a little bit of a better entry. But yeah, maybe I'm going to look back and say, Clay, why were you being so picky? And there we go. Just come on. Oh boy. Feel free to roast me in the comment section. You greedy savage. You want a little, yeah, honestly, I don't need it to drop down that much further. Come on. All right, I'm going to get in there. First entry. Now it'll probably collapse after I do not wait. Yep, there it goes. Per the norm. Per the norm. That's what I get for not. Let's see what it wants to do here. Ah. Thought I was getting out on that little spike back up. I wanted to try to reposition, but I ended up costing myself a little bit of money. Now, though, I'm actually starting to wonder if I want to potentially look to get short here on a breakdown through these levels right here. Look at that. Oh, man. Yeah, do I want to get short down through this area? Maybe. All right, I'll pause. All right, I'm going to look to get short at that red line there if it wants to come back down. Getting short at that red line if it wants to come back down. Close. Nope, and back up it goes. Oh, getting close again. Okay, I'm in. Oh, try to get out of that scalp spot. All right, I'll just have to hop out there then. So now up 250. I wanted a little bit more, but by the time my order got out there, it didn't quite hit me. All right, so now up 250. So not a very clean morning, but if anything, there's some hope. Well, look at the bright side. The markets are a very cruel place. It's very hard to be a trader. It's very hard. All that. The trading is not easy, but I will say it's not difficult to the point where the market demands you be absolutely perfect in your decisions, absolutely perfect in everything. No, you can have a morning like this where it's a little messy, it's a little sloppy, but you can still make money. Now it's coming back down. So do I? Yeah, I can't quite do it right now. We have on the 5-minute. Let me bring over the 5-minute real quick. So we have that 200 period right there. So that's makes me nervous to try to get short right there, even though it did just break down through it. But I was not willing to take that risk without it getting broken down through there. But it is what it is at this point. Let me hop over to the micros here, because I can be a little bit more aggressive with the micros if I want to try to start to build something on the downside. So I'm just going to go with 2 micros. So if I'm right immediately, I'm not going to make a whole lot, but the whole goal is to get more than 2 micros. But like I said, this gives me the flexibility here. Okay, in there. Like I said, if it bounces right in my favor immediately, then yeah, I'm not going to be making a whole lot. All right, so 19 on that one, but I can always start the sequence over again, and I will start it down there. So if this wants to pull back some more, I can start the sequence over again. The goal is to get more than 2 micro contracts, but like I said, if I'm going to get some movement in my favor, I'll just take it off the table and look to reposition. All right, I will pause. Okay, maybe. Getting close. Get my order is at that green line. All right, I'll pause. All right, I'm interested in building a short position into this because there we go. Would like more than one, but now if this thing goes straight up, it's probably going to be game over. And not probably, it will be game over, but I like the chances that this is not some sort of straight up V-shaped recovery. All right, a little scalp there. I can, again, always start back over. Yeah. If it wants to go back up there, I will start again right there first. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh boy, what was this? Wow. Well, I guess I can try one there just to try to maybe work my way out of it. Come on down just a bit more. Is it going to come down below that blue line? Well, like I said, if this was going to V-shape, game over. But I don't know if I got caught in a news spike or what, or a tweet. That was bonkers. I just want that thing below the blue line. Come on. Oh, brother, a little bit more. Oh, my goodness. Playing with my emotions. It like knows where my entry point is. Look at that. It knows. All right, I'll take that. So $206 loss on that one, but well, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, it's basically a V shape. So to escape out of there only down 260, I'm feeling very good about that. What? Oh. And that is the power of flexibility. Had I started out at a higher position size, toast. But started off with just one. So I had plenty of flexibility to kind of try to make that work. And it didn't totally work as it was a losing trade, but look at that. It would have never given me green. It got so close to that blue line, and now back up here, it's gone. Wow. Is this finally over? Or is this another spike coming? I guess I could do there and just put a stop there. And if this wants to roll over, great. If not, I'll just add to the loss a little bit, but it'll still be way better than what it could potentially have been. So let's see if this thing is now getting ready to come back down. Kind of chase that down a little bit, though. Yeah, that was a chase. I needed my entry up around here, not down there where I eventually got it, even though it would have been okay, but I don't know with this. I can't remember where I needed it to drop with this. I still don't think this move here would have got me down below that original blue line. Wow. Well, that was wild. I was ready for this account to be roasted on that one. So yeah, walking away with still a red day. Yeah, I gave back my green, but goodness, that was a crazy spike. In a stick and twisted way, I'm kind of glad I caught that on video. That'll just kind of show you how, yeah. Because I mean, look at all these resistances. You had the 200 period, you had the VWAP, you had the 50 period, all those things, and then that one candle, whoop, right up through them all. That was wild. All right, I'm getting short at that red line right there. If it wants to come back down. See what it wants to do here. I'm in. Come on, you're not going to pull back? All right, there we go. So out there now, back up 190. I should probably take that again, have a very well-defined stop right up there at that overnight high, and that's also been the rejection point of the past three candles. But sometimes you wonder, am I pushing my luck? Am I about, and this is also the possible recency effect. Now it feels like every trade's going to be this. But that was just a freak nature move. Like, you can't go into every trade thinking that that's going to happen, or else you'll never take a short-sided trade again. So that's a recency effect, which is a genuine psychology thing. And if, depending on how new you are, trading is about, I don't know, 20% technical analysis, and it's about 80% trader psychology. So anything you can learn about the human mind, and I'm not even talking about, just pick up a psychology book, and the parallels with trading are very much so. But yeah, recency effect right now, every trade feels like that's what's going to happen. Like, if I go short, poof, that's going to happen. And no, of course not. Of course that's not going to happen. That was a freak moment, but because it was very recent, the recency effect is making my mind telling me, "Oh boy, you're gonna go through that again." And that is also why on that one I waited for some confirmation. I waited for it to come down before I got in. I wasn't just gonna hop in again because, yes, recency effect. But I did wipe away those losses, so I'm now back 190. I should probably just call it a day. Today was been a wild morning. That spike, like I said, I am very grateful to, even if that had gotten, stayed red or gotten a little bit bigger red, because that last trade didn't work out. Still, I was fully on the verge of, well, with this, if it's a V shape, it's toast. And so to have walked away with just what I did at negative 260, that was a pretty big victory in my mind. And on that note, I am going to go ahead and just call it good after I think about it a little bit more. So, walking away, basically, I don't know, with commissions 190-ish or so. I don't know, somewhere right around there. But all things considered, to even be in the green today, I will consider that a quality victory. Real quick before I do go, though, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering that'll walk you through the tools I'm using, how I'm using them to build consistency and manage risk, and then also go through a lot of the framework within trading. A lot of people show up and they're either brand new or they're struggling and their framework is off. They're operating outside of things and doing things that don't actually make sense. They appear to make sense, but they don't make sense, and that's what the things that I want to point out in here. To not give you a holy grail or magic system, that's not the point of this, but to show you frameworks, to show you tools, how you should properly use these tools so that you can build something that's going to best fit you. So that sounds like it is something that can help you out. Like I said, go to claytrader.com/live or just check the link down in the description area to learn about when the next live class is. So thanks for watching. As always, if you appreciate these videos, hit that like button. And if you're looking for a super free and easy way to support the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Take care.